Hello everyone, my name is Satyam Shivaach and I am working as a legal intern with LEXIS and Company. And in this video, we will discuss about what is NGO and how to register one. The word NGO means non-government organization in India refers to a body that remains detached from the government and profit framework of usual business. These bodies work towards the broad advancement of the society by laws and operate as small unit which fills the gap at places where the government cannot reach effectively and businesses cannot be done with adequate returns governed by certain NGO laws. The term NGO is used as an umbrella to cover all legal entities that such philanthropic and charitable funds and utilize them towards the advancement of the society without the motive to originate profit from it or use the profit from the businesses of the NGO and utilize the same in the implementation of its object. An NGO can either be trust, a society, or a section 25 of company law. NGO can be registered legally in three ways. First, it can be trust. Second, it can be society. Third, it can incorporate as a company under section 8 of the company law. Now let's see the trust registration. Trusts are formed when the settlor of the property transfers any property and offers it benefit for the well-being of receptionist and for the practice of public purposes. The main aim of the person who registers a trust in India is to make use of the assets of the trust to attain welfare of the public at large and promote a charitable cause of a public character trust. Such trust does not possess a fixed beneficiary, but the public in huge, generally established with a common trait. The trust is irrevocable without the intervention of the court. Now the next is society registration. The society possesses the memorandum of association and rules and regulation and bylaw. The society registration fees in the processes need to be registered with the registrar of society or commissioner of trust appointed by the state government, and the society has a change to alter its MOA and increase and decrease its objective and working from time to time. The society must inform the registrar annually about the changes in the quorum of the society. A society can be terminated as per the termination clause in the bylaw and after termination of the society will merge with the society of a smaller object. Now the next is section 8 of company law. The MOA and AOA forms the legal document of section 8 of companies law. Section 8 company registration need to be filed under the central government to the registrar of companies with the required approval. The process is similar to the formulation of public limited company or a private limited company. Section 8 of company law requires to do the annual compliance similar to other companies. Now what are the compliance one NGO has to make? Many NGOs feel immune to all form of taxation because they exist as a non-profit entity. But this is a myth. In the following section talks about important compliance that an NGO has to make in order to prove its genuine and accordance in the law. First being the PAN. After registration of an NGO with the respective authority, the first thing it is to apply for the PAN of the NGO. It is mandatory to apply for PAN after the registration of an NGO. Then the next is registration under section 12A of the Income Tax Act. The registration of NGO under 12A is necessary for getting some benefits of taxation. However, 12A certificate is not a mandatory registration. The main reason for getting this registration of 12A is to get the benefit of exemption from the various income tax on the income of NGO if all the rules and regulations laid by this section are being fulfilled. The amendment made in the Finance Act 2020 to 2021 has made some changes that has already registered NGOs. The organization registered under section 120A, 12A and 12AA have to reapply for the validity of the Income Tax Act to continue to enjoy the tax exemptions. Also, validity has to be renewed every 5 years, previously the validity of the permanent. Then the registration under section 80G of the Income Tax Act. Even the registration under this act is not mandatory. However, It is given benefit of 50 or 100% exemption on the donation of the donors. NGO should get a registration under 18G of the Income Tax Act. It is indirectly an advance to the NGO to raise the funds. As per the new amendments, the tax exemptions are also available to the NGOs are not revocable. The movable and immovable asset of the organization shall be valued at market price and taxed accordingly. This rule intends to have a check if there is a misuse of the tax exemption of charity. Also, the person who are donating to the NGO will come under scrutiny. There is an assumption that in future no exemption may be granted for charity. Now the next is FCRA registration. The NGOs get many opportunities to receive fund from foreign or from an NGO mission once completing the NGO registration. Most which registration with the FCRA department, Ministry of Home Affairs is essential, and without FCRA registration, NGO cannot receive any kind of foreign donation or fund. Now the next is T10. During the function of NGO at any point of time, if NGO becomes liable to remove the tax from the source, it has to apply for 10. Now the next is GST registration. If the NGO is providing services like research activity or consultancy work, and if the gross revenue for such work crosses the basic exemption limit of GST, then the NGO has to first apply for the GST. Then the next is professional tax. Professional tax is a liability of an NGO to deduct from the pay of an employee and deposit to the government. It is a state government thing, and the different states of India are having different rules and regulation for professional taxes. Now the next is retirement benefits. Retirement benefit like provident fund, gratuity, ESIC, etc. are applicable to the NGOs also when it develop and size of the employee are more than the prescribed limit of this act. Then the next is shop and establishment license. This is the last requirement for establishing NGO, and according to Indian NGO laws, if an NGO employ any individual in their office to carry out any work pertaining to the NGO, then the said NGO will obtain a license under the Shop and Establishment Act. That is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.